Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
So, welcome to this evening session or afternoon session, we can say. And in this session, we will be discussing about information and communication technology, especially how we can harness ICT for transforming education, or how we can utilize it for our teaching and communication. So let us start. Okay, so with that. Okay, so does anyone recognize this picture? I believe many of you are from science background. How many of you are, let me have some questions actually. How many of you are from science background, and how many of you are not background means like how many are involved in teaching science subjects, and how many are from humanities or other allied subjects?
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Dr. Uttam Nikita, and I'm from Allied Health Science background.
Okay, great. Good afternoon. Thank you.
Yeah. So good afternoon, sir. I'm Dr. Jayashree Mishra. I'm from Humanities, Psychology.
Good afternoon, madam. Thank you. Yeah, so I can see that today's audience is or today's participants in this FDP are from diverse background. So, but I believe many of you could recognize this picture. Can anyone tell? Maybe in the chat box or by just unmuting yourself. No? Okay, so this is a small hall called Nobel Forum. And how many of you know about Nobel Prize? I am sure every one of you knows about it. Yeah, so Nobel Prize is one of the most prestigious prize in science field, not only in science but in other fields as well. And it was started by Alfred Nobel when he died in 1900, I think. So he wrote his testament, he wrote his will that whatever I have, they shall be sold and put into a foundation, and the earning from that foundation shall be equally divided into 5 parts, and that shall be distributed to people who are doing good work for the benefit of mankind in fields such as physiology, medicine, physics, chemistry, economics, and all those 5 domains. And you will be amazed to know that at the time of his death, he was having 100 factories around the world which were producing. What was he producing? What was he famous for? Anyone?
TNT.
Or TNT? Well, it was not TNT, but yeah, it's we can say a product of TNT. So it was dynamite. Okay, it was dynamite, and dynamite is, it's a stable form of TNT, because TNT is a very unstable, or nitroglycerin, we can say. Nitroglycerin is very unstable. It's in liquid form, and the storage was a big issue. And people were at that time in the 19th century, people were trying to discover a way to stabilize it. And then Alfred Nobel, he did that discovery. He stabilized it by mixing it with, the diatoms, which is a kind of this sand, which makes it stable. And then he was producing this a lot. And that dynamite was being used in construction work, for building like tunnels, for building roads, for doing all those things, as well as for, it was used as ammunition as well in the wars. And at late stage of his life, he was like sad about it, and then he thought, okay, let me do something good for humanity. And that is why he wrote in his testament that everything shall be sold and shall be fully distributed among 5 different prizes, and those were named as Nobel Prize. And each year in this small room, Nobel Forum, this is a very small hall actually. So in this Nobel Forum, people from professors from Karolinska Institute, they sit and then they discuss, and then they decide to whom they shall give the Nobel Prize in the field of physiology and medicine. And why I'm showing it, because I was fortunate to work there for around like 5 years. So yes, I did my master's, bachelor's, and PhD from Punjab University, and then I was a postdoc at Karolinska, and then recently I started working at IIT BHU as an assistant professor. And this was the center where this Karolinska Institute campus is spread across like 3 campuses, and then the Center for Alzheimer Research, where I was working. So the major area of research was, the structural biology and imaging, and then epidemiological studies, everything related to, Alzheimer disease. And then it was a forum for innovative translational research with the aim to better understand, diagnose, treat, and cure Alzheimer's disease. So with that, let us move to the topic actually. So now we are talking about education, and education is, so let me ask another question. So what is your definition of your education? So what do you think education means according to you? So is there anyone who would like to share their thoughts? What is your, what comes in your mind first when you think about education? Maybe Madam Jayashree Mishra, or anyone else as well.
Education is an act of teaching. It means you can share the knowledge and other things.
Okay, that is very good.
Education is something which enrich our knowledge, polish our behavior, and change our thought.
Okay. Anyone else? Yeah, please keep this session interactive, because I don't want that I'm just telling something and you're not participating. So if we keep it interactive and engaging, that will be like really useful for both of us.
In simple definition, it is a process to gaining knowledge or sharing knowledge and other things.
Yeah, that is correct. But what else can be the definition of education? Because it is
education.
Yes, please, madam. Yes.
Education is basically, I think, it's a tool, or it's a thing that gives more power to any individual who is more educated, actually. And he or she can share his or her thoughts, and she can become a part of like decision making, actually.
Okay, yeah, that is also a nice definition, I can say. Anyone else? No? Okay. Yeah, so we got several thoughts on education, and then education is not as simple to define it in words actually. So you might have heard a quotation that travel is itself an education. Have you heard? And is anyone there who have heard this quotation? Travel is itself an education. Yeah.
Yes.
So
this is actually method of education. Means that is we can say travel and other things.
Yeah. So it means that education is something, any mean by which someone can acquire knowledge, skills, values, attitudes, or sensibilities is education, right? So we cannot restrict it to some form. For example, classroom teaching. For example, we cannot restrict it to only classroom teaching. That it is the education. Even someone who has never gone to school or never gone to formal education system, they can be also learned scholars of some subject, right? So according to UNESCO, the UNESCO defines higher education as encompassing all types of education, which can be academic, professional, technical, artistic, pedagogical, long distance learning, etc. And even lifelong learning as well. Nowadays we are hearing this word called lifelong learning. So like even at the age of 70, 80, people are learning new skills, new things, for example. And especially for young generation, it is really important because of the demand in the industry. Like especially for the IT sector people. So the things are rapidly changing. The skills are rapidly changing. So every day new technologies are coming up. So it cannot be, one cannot survive in the job market if you are not upgrading yourself. So you have to reskill, upskill continuously yourself to stay competitive in the job market. Okay, so the education encompasses undergraduate and postgraduate programs as well as professional and vocational education. It offers a wide range of field of study and academic disciplines, preparing students for careers in various industries and providing opportunities for personal and professional development. So then there are different ways of learning. So this is a small graphical representation where you can see that it can take any form. For example, distance education, which is an overlap of teaching and the community. Okay, and when you align community with the service, so this can be professional community service-based education where someone is doing volunteering or doing community outreach programs, events, and through that someone is learning. So that can be a professional community service. And then there is this participatory action research or community-based research when you include research in this in the community as well as service. Okay, and then it's called a service learning when you have an overlap of teaching, community, and the service. So these are different ways of learning. And then with the time, there has been a lot of change in higher education with time, especially in last couple of decades, because the number of students enrolled in universities has more than doubled in last 20 years, and it is again growing and expected to continue to grow. And there is more diversity among students and faculty. Earlier, those education centers or the universities were only present in like big cities or metropolitan cities, I could say. But now you can see that even tier 2 or tier 3 cities are having excellent higher education institutes present there. And then there is more diversity among students and faculty. That is also true. And another important thing is that AI is used in many areas of higher education, including library service, management system, and student information systems. And then online learning that you might have seen with advent of all those edtech companies, edtech startups. So yesterday only I read a news that a Bengaluru-based startup which just started as a Telegram channel. So it was, or maybe you can take an example of Physics Wala, which started from just a YouTube channel. So he was doing nothing but just giving lessons to students on YouTube. And now it is one of the biggest edtech company. With, I think the valuation is around 5,000 crore. I'm not sure, maybe more, but it is inching towards becoming a unicorn actually. Right. So, and that is only possible because of the developments or advancements in the IT or ICT, information communication technology, I would say. And then like Coursera, Edusera, so there are edX, so there are a multitude of those online teaching or online institute applications which are going on, which are being used by people around the globe. And then colleges and universities are adapting their programs to ensure that students are prepared for the future workforce and close the skill gap. And then there is increased mental health awareness as well. And then flexible, holistic, and multidisciplinary courses have been introduced. So these are some of the changes which has occurred in higher education with time. And if you look at the economic impact of higher education, so this was a survey conducted in US in 2018 about the unemployment rate and the earnings by educational attainment. So it is, however, this data is for US, but this is also true for the Indian scenario as well. So if you look at the average education level and the salary which they are making, so you can see here, like if person is having less than a high school diploma, so then the unemployment rate is around 5.6%.
Excuse me, sir. Yeah, so you are not changing the slides actually.
Are you sure?
No, it is changing.
I can see that I'm on this slide number 8 actually.
Yeah, that's fine, sir. Yeah.
Could you please check your connection, madam? I think there might be some problem with your connection, or maybe you can just log out and log in again.
Okay, sir. Because it is showing fifth number slide actually.
No, but I think everyone can anyone confirm that we are on slide 8?
Yeah, we are on 8th
Yes,
slide.
sir. We are on 8th slide.
Yeah, so I think, madam, you need to.
Okay. Okay, sir. I will check it.
Yeah,
Thank
please refresh this. Yeah, so what we were talking about is that economic impact of higher education. So if we have, if a person is having less than a high school diploma, or maybe a high school diploma, so then the unemployment rate is around 4.1% to 5.6. But as the person increases his or her education, for example, if he goes to college having bachelor degree, master's degree, or professional degree, or a doctoral degree, so you can see that the unemployment rate decreases by like almost 5 times. So from 5 to almost 1.5. And as well as the salary, the median salary is increasing almost 4 times. So you have the median salary for a person with less than high school diploma was $553 per week. And then it was going up to $1,884 per week for a person with a professional degree, like a BTech or BArch or MBBS or something like that. So, and that is true for Indian scenario as well. So if someone who goes to, a professional course or get into, higher education, so they are always earning better. And this earning is not helping that person alone. So it is, in many cases, if the person is coming from, a modest background, so this earning can even boost their overall family's living standard, and then it can even pull them out of the poverty as well. and that we know in the Indian scenario, right? And that also, this education also, lead to a greater alignment between skills obtained and those demanded by employers. It leads to greater quality of education received. It leads to additional years of schooling. So these are some of the medium-term outcomes. And then if you look at the long-term outcomes for the higher education, so the beneficiaries receive higher wages, and then it leads to greater lifetime earning, and the beneficiaries experience improved employment. And the example, workforce participation and unemployment rates, and more employment in formal sectors or with benefits. Because if you get into the formal sector, you get, for example, the pension, you get the health benefits, you get, all sort of allowances. So it makes your life, someone's life easy, actually. And then it also impact on the innovation and entrepreneurship. For example, probably that the big institutions in the United States like MIT or Stanford or Harvard, so they have a huge amount of endowment, actually, and that endowment is coming from companies which were started in those universities, in those campuses. So when someone is facilitating all those kind of research environment, so it leads to development of ideas, and those ideas leads to startups, and those startups leads to unicorns, which improves the economy overall. So how does an education system helps in doing innovation and entrepreneurship is here the university is acting as an anchor institution, and then it fosters entrepreneurship in undeserved communities, and the help comes from the social capital, for example, human capital, market, and financial capital, and that is coming from the local community. And then once it starts, so it can expand with the help of the city and region, where the philanthropists, investors, residential communities, government funding, non-profit organization funding, and industries, big or small corporation, they can come in and they can support those initial startups to help them become big. Okay, so this is how the education also plays a very important role in innovation and entrepreneurship, and this also leads to job creation, and job creation means less unemployment rate. Okay, and then the education plays another important role in shaping cultural perspectives as well. So by promoting cultural diversity, tolerance, and inclusivity, by increasing cultural participation, by preserving cultural heritage, by socializing individuals, by instilling traditions, customs, and values, by influencing mindset, and by promoting knowledge about different cultures through cultural studies and cultural exchange programs. I believe there in the ICSSR, so there are some programs for this cultural exchange. Those who are from humanities background, maybe they can tell better. Is there someone who would like to share their thought on those cultural exchange programs, which acts as a way of education? No? Yeah, for example, ICSSR, it has started this fellowship for international students, where international students from our neighboring countries, they can come and do PhD here, and then for that they also get fellowship and financial support. Okay, then coming to NEP 2020, so the National Education Policy 2020 it was like long waited, because we really need to overhaul our education system, and then but it came in 2020, but due to the COVID-19, so it could not, the administration could not implement it, but now slowly things are becoming online, actually on track, I would say. And the major objectives of NEP 2020 are to focus on the skill development instead of the rote learning, and increase the inclusivity in early education by providing different opportunities to the unserved population, and focus on open and distance learning. Establishment of the NRF, National Research Foundation, which is now Anusandhan National Research Foundation, ANRF, which the main objective of NRF is to provide funding for basic science research and also to the applied research, and this will come through government funding as well as from the philanthropies. It can come from the private, and for that they are under NEP there is a provision for national credit framework, so where people can earn credits by studying different courses, and those credits can be transferred to other universities as well. For example, if someone has studied in BSc program in one university for 1 year and he or she wants to transfer the credits to another university, so it is possible. But earlier it was not possible for transferring in another university or registering in another university between the course duration. And then continuous and holistic assessment. This is another important fact, that the assessment of teaching shall be continuous and holistic. It shall not be just the paper-based exam in the end of end of the year, but it shall be like periodic exams or periodic evaluation in the form of assignments, in the form of quizzes, in the form of tutorials, etc. And then the medium of teaching shall be in local language, that shall be preferred, and also the language education that shall be focused more. And then equity and inclusion to become the cornerstone of all education decisions, and then unique capabilities, recognizing and tapping them in each student. So this recognize the students, their capabilities, and hone those skills and to develop them into a successful person. And then continuous review that we already talked about, and critical thinking and creativity to boost logical decision making and innovation, and emphasize conceptual understanding, not the rote learning, and community participation of uplifting philanthropic private community involvement, and that is it is implemented in the ANRF, Anusandhan National Research Foundation. And then respect for diversity and local context to be reflected in curriculum, pedagogy, and policy. Okay, so how we can integrate technology in education. So then we saw about education, we just saw like how NEP is changing the overall education paradigm, and then how we can integrate technology into education. So it can be done through digital learning resources. So NEP suggests using e-books, e-journals, online material to enhance classroom teaching. And then online assessment, NEP encourages online assessment for immediate feedback and identifying areas of improvement. Then virtual labs, NEP 2020 promotes virtual labs for hands-on learning in science and engineering. Blended learning, it supports blended traditional teaching and online resources for personalized and interactive learning. And then the most important thing is teacher training. It recognizes the importance of training teachers to effectively integrate technology in education. And these are some of the ways by which we can integrate technology in education. Okay, so before moving forward into the ICT in education, I would like to know your thoughts on, I'm sure that you were teaching during the COVID pandemic as well. So what are your reflections on using different tools or using technology during the COVID period, and what were the challenges and how did you resolve it? Like, we will talk more about the solutions rather than challenges. So there were challenges, everyone knows, but how did you resolve those challenges? What were those techniques or things, if you would like to share? Okay, how many of you were teaching during COVID? Yeah,
I was teaching during COVID.
Yeah, please, could you share your reflections on that period? How did you manage that tough time? I need your participation to make this session interactive, because otherwise, like, it's really,
Yes, sir. I have also taught in the COVID period mathematics. So first
Okay.
of all, we don't know how to teach it. There is no Google Meet link and Zoom link. So first
Okay.
of all, I have prepared my PDF and shared with via WhatsApp group. And after some time, there will be one Zoom meeting created. So in Zoom meeting, we have shared a screen and taught the mathematics handwritten notes.
Okay.
And after that, Google Meet will come and Google Classroom.
Okay.
So Google Classroom we have taught, and there is one benefit that the assignments and other arrangements are good, sir. In that.
Okay.
But in teaching means we cannot just like that. You are teaching, but you cannot assess that who are listening, who are not listening, no, sir.
Yeah.
Same situation there, sir.
Yeah, that is true. Yes, that is true. Thank you so much.
Dr. Rajnish, I would like to add something.
Yes, please.
That time actually hand of teaching is not possible. So I arranged some camera and a blackboard, and there actually the smart class also that time was not working properly.
Okay.
So I actually used cameras and boards. Also, likewise, I'm also teaching instrument technique, and that time absence of instrument I cannot show directly to a student. So I some video I usually made that time, and every part I have explained very in lucid way to a student. That type of techniques actually I used during my COVID time.
Okay. Great. Good to know. Thank you.
During COVID time, I was using a tripod and I was keeping my mobile phone in front of the classroom blackboard, and we were teaching directly. Sometimes we also telling them to open their camera whether they are listening to us or not. So it was a little bit difficult for us, but we are trying to manage like this.
Okay, very nice. Thank you, madam.
Yeah,
Please.
Because I'm from medical field, I have done telemedicine during that time, COVID times. So the app was developed by the government, and we used to go to office there, and the app is already ready, and the patients used to call on the telephone call. Then and then we always read out about their problems, and then we give certain type of medicines or type of treatment, whatever is desired actually.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. I would also like to share one of the no, it's not my first-hand experience, but one of my friend who is examination controller in a university, in a big, large university, and they have these distance education programs where at least 10 lakh students were enrolled, and the biggest challenge for them was to conduct this examination. So as someone said that it is impossible for us to know whether someone is focusing on the lecture, or in the case of exam, we cannot tell whether someone is cheating or not. We came up with ideas that you can put like 3 cameras and then detect whether the person is moving his or her head towards anything else, and then so you just how to say securing the environment around that person as well. But even that was also not successful. So what they did was they came up with an idea, and then they created an application, an Android based application, and then they created a question bank of around 50,000 questions, and that was like MCQ based, 50,000 questions. And it was like, it was like you're playing a game on your phone. So you get a question, you answer it, and then you move to the next level. And the next question, the difficulty of next question depends upon the answer of your previous question. So if you have answered the previous question correctly, then your next question will be difficult, and then it will be of more marks. But if you did not give the right answer to the previous question, so your next question will be easy, and then it will be, of less marks. So it was kind of a personalized examination, personalized exam for each individual through that application, and that experiment was highly successful. And I believe that those good things, they always come in difficulty. So I think that it was a really tough time, and we do not want to see it again, but at least we learned a lot of things in that time as well. And I think almost every one of us, we managed to teach our students and continue their education during that time as well. Okay, let us come back to the ICT. So ICT, Information Communication Technology, is a mode of education that uses ICT to support, enhance, and optimize information delivery. So this we have to remember, that it is to support, enhance, and optimize. So it is just a way to support or enhance. So it is not a way, not a method of education. So it is just a tool which we use in education, right? So the use of technological tools to support and improve information delivery, that is the most important thing. Like, for example, now we are talking to each other, and all of us are sitting around India. So we don't know where we are sitting. Like, every one of us is like sitting throughout the India, but still we are able to communicate to each other, deliver the information. So that is the beauty of ICT. And it can include digital tools like application, learning management systems, and interactive whiteboards. So the importance is, like, it increases access to resources, it enhances teaching learning process, and then it leads to personalization of learning, that I gave you an example. And then it leads to collaborative learning as well. Multiple people can work on a single problem all together, or they can participate in a session like we are doing it. And then it also leads to improved communication, and it is really convenient as well. We can do this while sitting on a couch in our living room, or in the office, or in a like a cafe, or in a wherever we are, right? So it's like highly convenient as well. And it can be done through like laptop, desktop, mobile phones, or even nowadays with your smartwatches as well. So some of the features are, it is affordable. It depends what kind of technology you use. If you use smart boards, for example, it can be really expensive. But if you use simple Android smartphone, or like a desktop, it can be affordable. And then it comes with ease of teaching process, because once you create all these modules, all that material, it remains there. It can be reused. It can be recycled actually. And then it upgrades the learning process, and then the content can be innovative. The content can include animations, it can include the videos, it can include audio, and it can even include the this augmented reality or virtual reality as well. So nowadays there are people who are working on, especially in the field of medicine. So people are developing virtual reality to learn the surgery skills, or to learn about the anatomy or the physiology, all those biology actually. So this is becoming really popular nowadays. And it is also interactive, and it is accessible, and then it is flexible, like you can do it anytime, especially for those pre-recorded sessions. You can, it is like a personalized learning program. And then it is collaborative as well. So some of the initiatives under NEP 2020, which are being undertaken. So like Diksha is one of them, which is digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing, as one nation, one digital platforms, having e-books and e-contents. And the policy encourages the creation of digital content in various formats, including videos and modules, to make learning more engaging and effective. And the policy recognizes the potential of AI and ML in personalizing learning, providing a real-time feedback and enhancing the overall educational experience. And the launch of National Curriculum Framework for Foundational Stage, NCFFS, and Jadui Pitara for play-based learning teaching material tailored for children between the age of 3 to 8 years. So this ICT can play an important role in the form of digital creations, which leads to problem solving and innovation, information, data and media literacy, digital learning and development, digital communication, collaboration and participation. Okay, so let us understand what is the digital infrastructure. But before that, I would like to ask another question. So here you can see the policy encourages the creation of digital content in various formats. So why do you think that we need to create this digital content when we have a lot of material already circulating in, for example, YouTube or in like other social media platforms? So why do we need to have a dedicated platform or a dedicated need to create those digital content? Can anyone reflect on that? I just wanted to know your thoughts on that. Yeah, please provide your response.
Dr. Rajneesh, I think it is to provide authentic material to the students, because whatever is available on social media do not have any kind of regulation over that.
So you're saying that it has no regulation, right?
What material is available on YouTube or like websites like that?
Yeah, that is one.
Another thing I can add that for every student there are similar type of content. If he is in rural area and he hasn't any access, then he can use whatever we are teaching in BHU or something like that. That we can do from this Diksha.
Yeah.
Also, sir, the stuff right now is not very organized and not very categorized properly. So with the help of this thing, we can organize the content, the digital content very easily and categorize them properly according to different categories.
Yeah. So I got really nice suggestions and nice reflections, and all of them are true. And some of the other things which motivates to have this dedicated platform. The most important or one of the biggest problem with the content which is available on those platforms is that it's not reliable actually. Okay, so it's not reliable. Most of the times that content is created and just uploaded without the peer review. It's not being reviewed, right? So we never know whether the information which is given in that is true or is fake. And many times even I have seen some of the videos. I will give you an example. Someone showed that they have developed a free energy engine. So that engine will keep on running without any fuel actually. And that is impossible, right? Because if we are converting, one form of energy into another, then we need input energy. Then only it can be converted into, for example, mechanical or kinetic energy. So it cannot be that we cannot produce energy. We can only convert one form of energy into another. We cannot produce that. But for the students or for the young children, so they don't know this. So the information which is available to them shall be factually correct. Then only it will be useful. Otherwise, they will learn the things in wrong way. Okay, so that is one of the, so the information which is available right now is not reliable, it's not correct. I'm not even talking about all of that, but most of it is not correct actually. And that is why government or the organization needs to create a reliable source of information. And that is why these initiatives were being taken. Okay, about the digital infrastructure. So digital infrastructure refers to the foundational technological components necessary for effective utilization of digital resources in education. And then it contains the hardware, the computer, tablets, smartphones, servers, projectors, etc. And the internet connectivity with the high-speed internet access, Wi-Fi networks, broadband connections, etc. And the importance is the digital infrastructure forms the backbone of modern education system, enabling seamless access to digital content and resources. So even if we have created a database where we have those ebooks, journals, textbooks, animations, videos, hands-on tutorials, laboratory exercises, virtual labs. But if we don't have the infrastructure, the hardware component or the internet access, that will be of no use, right? Because to use that, we need the proper infrastructure. So the hardware in education includes devices such as computer, tablet, interactive whiteboards, and it facilitates access. It provides students and educators with access to digital learning resources and tools. And then these interactive devices enable engaging and immersive learning experience, fostering better comprehension and retention. So this overall, this enables collaborative learning activities and group projects, promoting teamwork and communication skills. So now the internet connectivity is another important stuff. So it is essential for accessing online educational resources and services. So it enables students and teachers to access vast repository of educational content, including ebook, videos, and online courses. And it also facilitates communication between students and teachers, as well as collaborative projects with peers. And it enables remote learning, which is crucial for supporting remote learning initiatives, especially during times of crisis when the physical attendance is not feasible. And then this will comes under, personalized learning. We will see it later. So how we shall ensure adequate digital infrastructure? So it will come through investment. So there shall be adequate funding to procure and maintain digital hardware and establish robust internet connectivity infrastructure. Through policy support, the government policy should prioritize the development and maintenance of digital infrastructure in educational institutions. And through public-private partnership, the collaboration between government bodies, educational institutions, and private sectors entities can help bridge gap in digital infrastructure provisions. So investing in digital infrastructure is essential for ensuring equitable access to quality education and preparing students for this digital age. And that is why in some states you might have seen that some state boards or some state governments are distributing like tablets, computers to students in high school actually. So some of the initiatives for infrastructure enhancements under NEP 2020 are digital infrastructure development, establishment of digital classroom. NEP 2020 emphasizes the creation of digital classrooms equipped with interactive whiteboards, computers, and internet connectivity to facilitate modern teaching methods. And the internet connectivity expansion, BharatNet initiative, NEP 2020 aims to leverage the BharatNet project to expand high-speed broadband connectivity to all educational institutions, ensuring equitable access to online resources. And then capacity building for educators, professional development workshops, conducting workshops and seminars to enhance teachers' digital literacy and proficiency in utilizing ICT tools for pedagogical purposes. And digital content creation curation. So this is where it comes into play. It is called as National Digital Repository. Sorry. So establishment of a National Digital Repository to curate high quality educational content, including ebooks, videos, simulations, and interactive modules, accessible to educators and students across the country. Okay, so then we will move forward towards learning about the role of ICT in promoting digital literacy. So digital literacy refers to the ability to use digital technologies effectively and critically to access, evaluate, and create information. So it plays a crucial role in promoting digital literacy by providing access to digital tools, resources, and platforms for learning and skill development. And digital literacy empowers individuals to navigate the digital landscape, critically evaluate online information, and communicate effectively in the digital age. So some of the initiatives or the suggestions under NEP 2020 for skill development are that NEP 2020 emphasizes the importance of equipping students with essential digital skills, including basic computer proficiency, internet navigation, information literacy, and online safety. And then there is this PBL, project-based learning. We are incorporating project-based learning approaches that require students to utilize digital tools and resources to solve real-world problems, fostering creativity, collaboration, and problem-solving skills. And then pedagogical training. NEP 2020 advocates for comprehensive, and this is for teachers actually, for comprehensive training programs to enhance teachers' pedagogical skills in integrating ICT into teaching practices effectively. And then also the ICT competency, capacity building initiatives, which focuses on improving teachers' ICT competency, including training on using educational software, digital content creation, and online assessment tools. And some of the initiatives for capacity building are National Teacher Platform. So establishment of a National Teacher Platform to provide access to online resources, training modules, and professional development opportunities for teachers across the country. I think these central universities, they implemented one online orientation program where the newly joined teachers, they need to go through this online orientation, and then they were being introduced to several things. Can anyone confirm that? Because I'm not sure about that, if it already got implemented or not. Is there anyone among the participants who can confirm that? No? Okay.
No, sir.
And then there is this teacher training institutes, setting up teacher training institutes and center of excellence to offer specialized training programs focused on ICT integration, digital literacy, and innovative teaching methodologies. So how to empower educators and learners through collaborative learning communities? NEP 2020 encourages the creation of collaborative learning communities where educators can share best practices, resources, and experiences related to digital literacy and skill development, and also lifelong learning, promoting a culture of lifelong learning among educators and learners, supported by continuous professional development opportunities and access to digital learning resources. Then we move forward to the personalized learning, tailoring education with technology. So this is, one of the important aspects where now when we are talking about personalized treatment, personalized food, personalized clothes. So we shall also think about personalized learning. So where we can provide the opportunity, we can give the opportunity to a person, to a student, for learning on their own pace. For example, in a classroom, some students might be very sharp, intellectual, so they can get the concept, grab the concepts in very short time. But on the other hand, there might be some students who needs more time actually. So can we provide some form of material in the form of maybe like audio, video, or in the form of animations or tutorial or a quiz or something which the other students who is slow learner can use that and then learn that concept or those things. So all these things are, comes under personalized learning. So it refers to instructional approach that adapts the individual needs, interests, and learning style of each student. And ICT plays a pivotal role in personalized learning by providing access to adaptive learning platforms, digital content, and data analytic tools to customize learning experiences for students. You might know that the IIT Madras, so it started a BTech computer science program, online program, and which is joined around the globe. And in that, you just have to register. There are pre-recorded lessons. You just attend those lessons, and then you write the exam. And if you fulfill the criteria, you will get a degree of an online BTech in computer science and engineering. And that also, for that also, you don't need to have a background in science or mathematics, or even if you have like background in humanities, one can enroll for that and one can achieve that actually. So, and those lessons can be attended at any time. If someone is doing job, he can do it in the evening. If someone is studying regularly, they can do it during the day. So it is, highly flexible and highly personalized. So based on someone's own requirement or own interest, if they can do it on their own way, so that is really useful, and that is becoming more and more popular. So the technology allows educators to differentiate instructions based on students' abilities, preferences, and pace of learning, fostering greater engagement and achievement. And then there are those adaptive learning platforms and tools. So this adaptive learning platform utilizes algorithms and artificial intelligence to analyze students' learning pattern and deliver customized learning pathways and content. So it can analyze the weakness and strengths of a student, and then it can see, okay, this student is strong in this subject or this concept or this unit, and then the student needs to do more, put more focus, put more time on another unit. So it can analyze that on the basis of the performance of the students in each unit, and then it can suggest a personalized plan that, okay, you shall input this much time in this much time in this, and like that only. And then there is this gamification. So gamified learning apps, gamification elements in learning apps encourage student engagement and motivation by offering personalized challenges, rewards, and progress tracking. And that is also really, becoming popular. So there is this app called Kahoot. Has anyone used it before? Kahoot, it is a web app for conducting quizzes. No? Has anyone used Kahoot? I can name it. It's a Kahoot. Yes. Okay, we will see because in the second the second half of this session, I will demonstrations of some of the these virtual labs actually, and also then we will try to conduct a small quiz using this Kahoot to show you how to make things more engaging for students. So I think that I hope you will like that. Yeah. Okay, so the recommendations for personalized learning are there shall be flexible learning pathways. NEP 2020 advocates for flexible learning pathways that allows students to choose from a diverse range of subjects, courses, and learning modalities based on their interests and career goals. Another thing is that competency-based education, emphasizing competency-based education model that focus on mastery of skills and knowledge rather than traditional age-based grade levels, enabling personalized progression and assessment. And learning analytics, we are leveraging learning analytics and data-driven insights to monitor student progress, identify learning gaps, and provide timely interventions and support to ensure personalized learning success. So the benefits of personalized learning with technology are individualized instructions. It allows educators to tailor instructions to meet unique needs and learning style of each student, promoting deeper understanding and retention of concepts, increase engagement, personalized learning experiences, enhance students' engagement and motivation by offering choice, autonomy and relevance in their learning journey. Improved learning outcomes. Research shows that personalized learning with technology leads to improved academic performance, higher graduation rate, and greater student satisfaction. It also empowers educators and learners through professional development. It emphasizes the importance of professional development programs for educators to effectively integrate personalized learning strategies and technologies into their teaching practices. And then by promoting student agency and self-directed learning skills through personalized learning experiences, empower students to take ownership of their learning and pursue their interests and passion. So let us move to the another topic, which is enhancing learning through accessible resources. Okay, so now when we know that the importance of digital content and resources, so with the advancement of the technology, digital content and resources have become essential component of modern education. Now you might have seen that even the books of pre-primary. They also comes with supplementary online resources where you might have some like animations or videos or some kind of like games or quiz related to each of the chapters, each of the units of those books actually. So these digital resources, they provide easy access to a wide range of educational material, including ebooks, videos, simulations, interactive tools, fostering anytime, anywhere learning opportunities. And then this digital content offers diverse perspectives, formats, and mediums to cater to the diverse learning needs and preferences of students. So, and then comes into play the OER, which is called as Open Educational Resources and Online Libraries. So the open educational resources these are freely accessible, openly licensed educational material that can be used, adapted, and shared by educators and learners worldwide. And the benefits of OER that it promotes equity and inclusivity by eliminating cost barrier to access educational resources, fostering collaboration, innovation, and customization in teaching and learning. And then there are these online libraries which provides curated collection of digital resources, including academic journals, research papers, textbooks, and multimedia content accessible to educators and students for self-directed learning and research. So some of the NEP 2020 strategies for content development and curation, the establishment of National Digital Repository, which we already saw. So it proposes the establishment of National Digital Repository to curate high-quality educational content, including textbooks, lectures, videos, interactive modules. This is something like the NPTEL, and if you remember earlier, there used to be some educational channels as well, known as EduSet. So those were broadcasted through satellite actually, and then there were special channels where the content was provided and it was broadcasted in the form of the video lectures. And then another thing which comes under the strategies is curriculum reform. And NEP 2020 emphasizes the need for curriculum reform to integrate digital resources, open educational resources, and multimedia content into the curriculum, ensuring relevance, currency, and alignment with 21st century skills and competencies. And also the quality assurance, it outlines mechanism for quality assurance and peer review process to ensure the reliability. And this is the most important thing which I told about, that the content which is available online in all those social media platforms like YouTube or other platforms is the lack of reliability and accuracy. And this is really, really important to ensure the reliability, accuracy, and relevance of digital educational resources, which is available to educators and learners alike. So how this digital divide can be bridged? So by addressing inequalities, the access to quality educational resources is crucial for addressing educational inequalities and bridging the digital divide. particularly in undeserved communities and remote areas, and government initiatives like NEP 2020 outlines government initiatives to provide digital devices, internet connectivity, and access to online libraries and OER platforms to ensure equitable access to quality educational resources for all the learners. Moving forward with the harnessing technology for inclusive learning. So the inclusive education is, to provide equal opportunities to all the learners, including those with diverse abilities, background, and learning needs. So inclusive education promotes diversity, equity, accessibility, and participation, and ensuring that every learner feels valued, respected, and supported in the learning environment. So the education shall not be for some people, it shall be for everyone, and then accessible to everyone. So how does ICT plays an important role in inclusive education? So ICT enables the customization of learning material and delivery method to accommodate diverse learning styles, preferences, and needs. For example, recently there were some trials where this content was even broadcasted to the feature phones. So there are smartphones, and then there are feature phones which are not smart, but they're like economic. They're cheap. So what if some people or some students which are living in remote areas and they do not have access to smart devices, but they have access to feature phone or maybe like radio, for example? So how one can still get access to all that content is, to develop content in all those formats, and also to develop content in local languages, because India is so big and so diverse, and then several languages are spoken. And if you go to like really rural area, you will not find people. They use their local language, and then even for them, the only way to have the inclusive education is to develop the content in their local language, in their own language, so that they also can take benefit from that. Okay. And then there is this assistive technologies like ICT tools such as screen readers, speech recognition software, alternative input devices. For example, some student comes with disability, so they shall also get equal opportunity. They shall get support in the form of these things, so that they can learn equally. They have equal opportunity to learn things actually. And then universal design for learning. ICT supports the implementation of UDL principles by providing multiple means of representation, expression, and engagement, allowing all learners to access and succeed in the curriculum. So promoting access and participation. So the remote learning, ICT facilitates remote learning opportunities, allowing students to access education from anywhere, overcoming barriers such as geographical location, physical disabilities, and health conditions. And then collaborative learning. The online collaborative platforms and communication tools enable students to collaborate with peers, educators, and experts, promoting social interaction, teamwork, and peer support in inclusive learning environments. So some of the initiatives for inclusive education are special education support. NEP 2020 emphasizes the importance of providing special education support and accommodations for students with disabilities, ensuring their inclusion and participation in mainstream educational settings, and teacher training programs, where it advocates for comprehensive teacher training programs to equip educators with the knowledge, skills, and strategies required to effectively integrate ICT and support inclusive practices in the classroom. And then it also helps in fostering a culture of inclusion by empowering students. It empowers students to advocate for their own learning needs and preferences, promoting self-advocacy, self-determination, and independence. So if a student has digital, access to digital content on his or her smartphone or tablet or laptop or desktop, then they can have, with self-determination and independence, they can learn in their own way without without any factor which can affect their learning. And then it also fosters a sense of belonging and community among students, educators, and families, creating supportive learning environments where diversity is celebrated and respected. Moving next to enhancing assessment practices through digital tools. So this is another important aspect, that how we can increase the assessment, or how we can utilize these digital tools in assessing the learning of the students. So that is really an important aspect. Okay. So the digital assessment refers to use of the technologies to administer, deliver, and evaluate student learning outcomes. And here I would like to ask a question, like how many of you are using tools for digital assessment? Or if you are using any tool for conducting exam or evaluation, and you would like to share your thoughts on that. No? Probably you might be using Google Quiz. How many of you are using Google Quiz?
Yes, sir. I have used that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so did you use it during COVID, or are you still using it?
Generally, we use, sir, this platform.
So you
at the time of COVID and at the today time, generally we use Google Quiz, sir.
I use Google Quiz, okay. So did you find it useful?
Yes, sir. It is very useful, sir, for students.
No, not for students. I'm asking, like, did you find it useful for evaluating your students?
Yes, sir. I have evaluated.
Okay. Anyone else? Or is there any other tool which you are using for evaluation or assessment? Like there are several tools for evaluating plagiarism actually. Like
Get the student as feedback to use the technology, digital assessment. Sometimes we need the feedback from the students, and at that time we use all sorts of things.
Louder or close, keep the mic a little bit closer to you, because I cannot, we could not hear you actually. Okay, so let us go through it. So the digital assessment can take various formats, including online quiz, interactive simulations, multimedia projects, and computer adaptive tests. So the digital assessments offer benefits such as immediate feedback, scalability. So you can get immediate answer, and then you can provide feedback to the students immediately after he or she has attempted the quiz. And then another important thing is the scalability. For example, you can conduct Google quiz for 1,000 students. But imagine if you have to conduct the quiz for 1,000 students in a paper-based format. So that will be like really intensive, right? And the ability to analyze data for insights into student performance and learning trends. So that is also, really important that you get the personalized plan actually for the student. So some of the types of digital assessment tools are LIMS, LMS, which is Learning Management System. It is a platform enable educator to create and administer online assessment, track student progress, and store assessment data securely, which is, for example, the Google Classroom is one of the LMS. And then there are online assessment platforms. Dedicated online assessment platforms offer features such as customizable quizzes, automated grading, and detailed analytics to inform instructional decision making. And then we have digital portfolios. Digital portfolios allow students to showcase their work, reflect on their learning journey, and receive feedback from peer and educators in a multimedia format. So the benefits of digital assessments are personalization, so can be tailored to individual students' need, allowing for adaptive testing, differentiated instructions, and targeted intervention strategies. These are engaging, interactive features and multimedia elements in digital assessments enhance student engagement and motivation, making assessment activities more meaningful and enjoyable. And accessibility. These digital assessments accommodate diverse learning styles and preferences, providing alternative formats, assistive technologies, and accommodation for students with disabilities as well. So some of the recommendations of NEP 2020 for digital evaluation is continuous assessment. NEP 2020 emphasizes the importance of continuous assessment practices that integrate formative and summative assessment to provide holistic feedback on student learning progress. And competency-based assessment, it advocates for competency-based assessment models that focus on evaluating students' mastery of skills, competencies, and learning outcomes rather than rote memorization or exam performance. And then authentic assessment tasks, it encourages the use of authentic assessment tasks that reflect real-world context, challenges, and skills required for success in the 21st century. So, and also to ensure integrity and security, digital assessment platform incorporate features such as plagiarism detection tools, secure browser settings, and proctoring solutions to uphold academic integrity and prevent cheating. And educators must prioritize data privacy and security when implementing digital assessment practices, ensuring compliance with regulations and protecting sensitive student information from unauthorized access or misuse. Okay, so that was, we saw different aspects of ICT, information communication technology. So some of the attributes of e-learning are it provides connectivity, access to information on a global scale, flexibility, learning can take place anytime, any place, anywhere. Interactivity, assessment of learning can be immediate and autonomous. Collaboration, one can use the tools for discussion for collaborative learning. And personalization, learning methods can be adapted and customized. So with that, the first half is done. And in the next half, we will have a look at some of the, learning management systems and especially virtual laboratories. So we can have a 10-minute break and then we continue with the second session. And if you do have any questions, please let me know, and I will try to answer your queries actually. So the second half will be more like hands-on kind of stuff. So where I will show you some of the tools, some of the virtual lab tools which can be used for teaching, and in the end we will conduct a small quiz using Kahoot, and I hope that you will enjoy that as well. So if you do not have any questions, yes, please. Yeah.
No, sir. No questions, sir.
Okay, I want to ask a question.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So in the assessment tools, like what we have used this Google form, Google quiz technique for students for the online assessments.
Yes.
What happens? Students usually get same types of questions, and they do copy the options. Although there is option of reshuffling the questions.
Yeah.
Is there any tool where, like in the mathematics or science, technology, if we ask a numerical question that is based on some formula, so the input in the formula may be changed for other students by programming, and accordingly the output will be changed. So the options will have one right answer according to the inputs. Student will see the question. All the students will have the question based on the same formula, but input numbers will be different. Like I can say a body has a mass 2 kg, other student will have mass 3 kg.
Exactly. Yeah.
Answer will be different. And in that case, they will not be able to copy others' options and they'll have to do it themselves. So
Exactly.
Tools like that.
So that's a very nice question, I would say. and if you remember, I shared an experience from one of my friends. So what they did was they just created a question bank of 50,000 questions, and they created this application where this application was giving questions like different questions individuals, right? So out of those 50,000 questions from one subject, so one student will get one question, another will get another question, but of same level, like the difficulty level. So those 50,000 questions are segregated in different difficulty level, like really easy, moderate, hard, extremely hard, like that. So those kind of things can be done, and there are some tools for that as well. But yeah, so for that you need to have dedicated license. Actually, you need to buy those algorithms or those tools. But it is possible.
So like choosing 100 questions from those 50,000 questions that can be automatically can be evaluated by the computer itself.
Yes. Computer will itself do everything, like, because it is programmed in such a way that it will give one question to the student, and then once the student answers that question, it will record the response, and then based on that, it will make a final report. So that is the beauty of using ICT, information communication technology. And this Kahoot, I will, in the end, when we will conduct this Kahoot quiz, I hope you will like it, because that is also an advanced, and it is much advanced than this Google quiz.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other question? Okay, so then we take a 10-minute break. So it's like 5:30 now. So we see each other at 5:40. Meanwhile, you can stretch your legs and have some water break as well. Okay, thank you. So we see each other in 10 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome back. Are you there?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us continue our session. So in this half, as I said, like we will have a look at the different tools, and largely it will be, the hands-on kind of sessions. I will just demonstrate you how to use some of those tools and everything. So if we talk about learning management systems, so then we have like the Google Classroom, which we usually use to share the notes or share the material, and to conduct the quiz, and also to keep record of attendance, or you can keep record of the grades as well. So it's a comprehensive system where you can do almost everything which is needed in an educational setup. And likewise, we have VizIQ, Elucidat, Edmodo, Zoom Education, Canvas, and then Microsoft Teams is also there. And then there are some other tools as well. And another important thing is the virtual laboratory. So this virtual laboratory is an emerging concept. So as when we were discussing, someone said that it was not possible during the COVID time, it was not possible for the students to do the laboratory experiments. And that is an important and integral part of the technical education. For example, if someone is in studying medicine, or someone is studying, engineering subject, or any professional course, a technical course, so then they need to go to do those experiments in the labs. Otherwise, the information which they are retrieving is not highly useful, because ultimately when they go into the job, so they have to do those things, and they can only do it if they have done it previously during the education. And then we will look at these interactive quiz platforms. There are several of them, like Kahoot, Quizzes, Quizlet, and we will see how one can use Kahoot to conduct online quiz. So before that, there was a small survey by Sandra et al. Published in American Journal of Pharmaceutical Education. So, and although it was before COVID, it is from 2014, but I'm sure that the outcomes of this survey is still relevant, and it is much more relevant, especially post-COVID era. Okay, and then the purpose of survey was to evaluate the effectiveness of e-learning in pharmacy education. So on the virtue of the learning, so the outcome led to increased confidence, improvement in the change of the skills, gain in the knowledge and the course benefits. And on the behavior side, there was like willingness to change practice, and perceived or actual practice change was observed. And when we look at the reactions, and under reactions, when the participants were questioned about the perceived benefits, so they answered that it leads to flexibility, confidence, knowledge, stimulates interest, online discussion provides opportunity for online discussion, and then the course relevance, and on the basis of functionality. So it was time saving, is easy to use, and then adapt using technology, and then improving the course presentation as well. So overall, you could see that this e-learning is really highly useful, especially for these technical courses. So we will not cover those those LMS, learning management system, because we already use them and we know that. I will focus on virtual labs, and we will start with this OER, Open Educational Resource, NUS LibGuide. So it is licensed as a common creative license where anyone can read, anyone can access it, and it is peer reviewed, having great quality and easy to use, and it helps students to learn, and you don't have to worry about paying for the books, and then it saves cost and lifelong, and provides you an opportunity for lifelong learning. And the resources are licensed to allow sharing of content as well, and you don't need to contact the authors for permission to use for his or her work, as long as it falls within the open access license. And it looks like this. It's the National University of Singapore Open Educational Resources. And then if you look at here, like open educational resources in pharmacy, you have like edX courses, Coursera, MIT OpenCourseWare, OER Commons. So all these are, different coursewares where one can take open access courses. And then there are these open textbooks, open journals. So those can also be accessed. And this is not only for pharmacy, so you will get these resources for almost every subject as well. And then there is another one called Open Systems Pharmacology, which is reliable, powerful, and easy to use modeling and simulation tools for pharmaceutical and other life sciences application. And it is qualified and accepted by the scientific community, including academia, regulatory agencies, and industry. And it is again available for free to everyone. And the tutorials in this are to introduce the fundamental concepts of physiologically based pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic modeling. So it's look like this: open pharmacology, open systems pharmacology. So you can do pharmacokinetic, pharmacodynamic modeling, and this is especially for the drug discovery stuff, And then there is a drug bank online. So this is an intelligent clinical data, drug data API and in-depth knowledge database. So each and every information about any drug molecule you can get from this data bank actually. So you just have to enter. Maybe I can show you this one. Drug bank. Let me stop sharing this and instead share this one. Okay, so this is drug bank online. So the pharmaceutical data you have been looking for, and now you have the drugs here, and then if you type, for example, paracetamol, and then let us see what it will give to you. So then you have all the details about this drug called paracetamol. So what are the identifications? What is the pharmacology, means how it affects the body? How does it interact with? So if you click on pharmacology, so you will get like indication where it is used. Okay, what are the associated conditions where it can be used? And then you have the pharmacodynamic, like how it interacts with the body. And then there is mechanism of action, like how, if it is relieving the fever or the pain, so how is it doing that? So it targets the prostaglandin synthase 2, prostaglandin synthase 1, and then all those nitty-gritty details of this drug. You can see the toxicity, liver toxicity, carcinogenesis, mutagenesis, uses in pregnancy, and then you can find the drug. You can find different products as well. For example, what are different brand names which are being sold in the form of this, which contain this paracetamol drug, actually paracetamol salt. And then you have injections, you have combination, formulations. Okay, so targets, enzymes, carriers, transporters. So each and every detail of all these properties of this drug can be found here. So this can be a useful tool for those, especially who are in the medical or the pharmaceutical field. Okay, and then you have the biomodel, and this is also I would like to show you. This is really interesting, actually. Yeah. So, and in the biomodel, it contains structure models for structure of protein, nucleic acid, lipid bilayers, and it contains virtual labs to perform electrophoresis of proteins on a polyacrylamide gel with SDS. And then virtual UV visible spectrophotometer, colorimetry assay for enzyme activity, simulation of column chromatography, and then you can also display the biomacromolecules from protein data bank. And then you can also do linear interpolation between two models in PDB format using the morph. So let me show you this one as well. Yeah. So here you can see, for example, this is the structure of proteins and nucleic acid. So it can be really useful tool for the undergraduates, the freshman undergraduate, or it can be used for the advanced tutorials as well. So you can see here, you can get get to know the structure of proteins and nucleic acid, lipid bilayers, and the grammacidine channel, structural biochemistry for secondary school, DNA structure tutorial, amino acid structure and quiz. You can get to know more about the water. And then we have virtual labs where you can process the DNA samples, do the restriction enzyme digestion and gel electrophoresis, or you can do multiplex STRs, polymerase chain reaction and electrophoresis. And then there is this stereoisomerism for chemistry. And then enzymology as well. You can run the enzyme kinetics assay simulations and plot the graphs using Michaelis-Menten equation using nonlinear regression. So let me show you this one, for example, water. It's a very basic example where you have the liquid water. So you can see if we click here on this one, so you can see a model for liquid water. It is still loading actually. Yeah. So now, for example, here you have these water molecules and these are separated to each other so that they do not form the hydrogen bonds. I assume that you know that water exists in liquid state and due to this hydrogen intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So where this oxygen atom of one water molecule is forming a hydrogen bond with hydrogen atom. So now let us when we play this one, so let us see what happens. So you can see they come close to each other and then they form these hydrogen bonds. So this is the hydrogen bond network actually. So they form hydrogen bonds with each other. So each water molecule is having 3 hydrogen bonds where oxygen is making hydrogen bond with another hydrogen of another water molecule, and the 2 hydrogens of this water molecule are making H bonds with other oxygen atoms. So, and this is the kind of the animation where these water molecules, they are from the random conformation coming close to each other and forming these hydrogen bonds. So these kind of simulations can help students to understand the things, the concept. And this one is really interesting, where you have the transition of water from liquid state to solid state, means crystallization of water. So let it load first, and then we will. Yeah, so now you can see here. So this is water in liquid state, where you have the. Let me show if we have. Yeah, so you can see here now I've shown the hydrogen bonds. Okay, so now this is the grid of bonds between molecules. So these are green ones are hydrogen bonds, and then the red ones are oxygen atoms. Okay, so this is in liquid state, right? and the difference between liquid state and solid state is the crystals is that in liquid state the orientation is random. They are arranged in random way and they're always like moving. But when we have something in crystal state, so then those water molecules are, or any molecule which we make a crystal form, so they are arranging themselves into a regular pattern, so in crystal lattice, they will arrange themselves in a regular pattern and then nicely packs themselves into this. For example, we can take an example of like those matchsticks packed in a matchbox. So you can see like those matchsticks are then nicely placed in a bunch actually. So likewise, now when I click on freezing, so when I click on this freezing, so let us see what happens. So these water molecules, they will arrange themselves into a nicely formed pattern and make the crystal. So let us see. So you can see now they started to move, and then now they have started to put them into a regular arrangement. Okay, so you can see now that they have specific distance from each other, and they are arranged in nice regularly spaced framework. And this is the crystal structure, and this is ice actually. And now when I click on this heat, so it will again, when we supply energy in the form of heat to this system, so these water molecules will again get into the random state, and then we will get a liquid state. And this conversion is being studied by molecular dynamic simulation, and then this trajectory you are seeing is obtained from that only. So then you can see like how the conversion, how the water at molecular level converts from liquid state to solid state, crystal state, or the ice state actually. So this can be also interesting to the students to know, especially if those are from like physical chemistry or computational chemistry. And then there is this one structure of proteins and nucleic acid. So where those can be introduced with the structure of, for example, DNA or RNA. So a little bit slow actually. Okay, so now you can see here. So this is the ribonucleic acid is so this is DAMP, deoxyribonucleotide, DAMP, which is a component of DNA. So likewise, you can have this like rotate the structures, you can visualize them, and then you can move ahead with the, so this is an RNA chain with 12 nucleotides. So each of them is a nucleotide, and then those are, connected to each other through this phosphate linkage, and then you can see the single strand of RNA. So likewise, it can be all these things can be explained to students actually. So this is now folded RNA from 3' to 5'M. Okay, so then we go back and forth to the okay, and then there is this spectroscopy as well. Is there someone who is conducting spectroscopy experiments in the UC or PC courses? I'm sure there must be people.
Yes,
please.
Yeah, so this spectroscopy experiment can also, because usually those spectrophotometers are expensive and those are like sensitive as well. So even before going to the instrument, even if you have the instrument or the facility, but before going to the instrument, if the students can try their hands and understand the concepts on virtual labs, that would be like really useful. So this is a virtual UV visual spectrophotometer, where you have the instrument and you have the cuvettes and you have different solutions And for these solutions, you can make different dilutions and take this pipette to put the solution into these cuvettes and take these cuvettes, put them into the spectrophotometer, and then it will give you a reading of absorbance. And then obtaining those absorbance values, one can draw the calibration curve or one can plot them into a graph format. So this can also be a really useful tool. And especially when those, these virtual labs, virtual training is being extensively used in several fields. For example, for the training of pilot, aircraft pilot, the 90% of training is done in a simulator. So you have that like a big room kind of thing, and then you have cockpit inside it, and you have screens surrounding you, and it feels like you're sitting in a cockpit and in the real aeroplane, but it is a simulator actually. So it is simulating the flight, and then the pilots are being trained on that. So I think it's really good, but the only thing is that sometimes we can't find those virtual labs for our subject, so we need to develop as well. So, and we can do that as well. It's not like really difficult. And this is another spectrophotometry lab where one can again do the UV visible spectrophotometry experiments in the virtual lab. And then there is this ADMET SAR where you can draw a molecule in the form of spiles, and then you can predict the ADMET properties. And also there is this mole inspiration, which can also do a lot of things like normalization of molecules, generation of tautomers, molecular fragmentation, calculation of various molecular properties, molecular modeling and drug design, and making nice pictures of molecules, and molecular database tools supporting substructure and similarity searches. So the interface looks like this, and then here you can just enter the smiles, or you can draw the structure and calculate the properties and get those details. And then supported by Royal Society of Chemistry, there are these some titration labs are also available, and I'm sure that those who are in chemistry, they must be conducting titration, acid-base titration in the laboratory. So those titration screen experiments can also be simulated by using this tool called virtualedu.rse.org. So where you make a solution of the acid and base, and then you titrate, and then by using an indicator like phenolphthalein, one can determine the concentration of either acid or base in that solution. And then there are these Chem Collective online resources where again there are several resources based on stoichiometry calculation, thermochemistry, kinetics, equilibrium, acid-base chemistry, solubility, oxidation reduction, analytical chemistry, etc. And then there is this GoReact where one can create virtual chemical reactions. So you can just it looks like a game actually. So you can make new molecules using this tool. And then there is Molecular Workbench. Again, it has several labs, not only for chemistry, but for physics, biology, biotech, nanotechnology, and then several experiments related to in chemistry, maybe related to thermodynamics, state of matter, chemical bonding, etc. So all those things can be utilized for teaching and learning. And then there is ChemReacts, which is again a chemical reaction simulator. It's similar to GoReact, where you can simulate the chemical reactions and get the products, predict the products which is formed. And then we have the Lab Exchange. It is completely free and unlimited access to proven teaching content created by life science experts, and it is hosted at Harvard Faculty of Arts and Sciences. And then there is this Pharma Labs where you can conduct several laboratory experiments virtually related to pharmaceutical dosage formulation, like making capsules, colloidal dispersions, inhalation preparations, intranasal preparations, etc. And then we have the HPLC virtual lab, where one can perform high performance liquid chromatography simulation of HPLC, like using which column, what will be the retention time of substance A or B, learn about, so before training on the real instruments, these can be used in the beginning to develop skills. And then there is this virtual anatomy and physiology classroom, where you have like it tells about different organ systems. So, and these virtual anatomy and physiology classroom is especially relevant to the medical undergraduate or postgraduates, and they have this video demonstrations of anatomy and physiology here. And then another one is bio-interactive, where one can learn more about those organ systems. This is, for example, for immune system, so you can get all the details about immune system in nice video lessons, and also in the form of some animations. And then there is virtual microscopy, which is another important field for life sciences. Like you can get details about all these techniques, like microscope basics, special techniques, digital imaging, confocal, live cell imaging, and then they have this virtual microscopy as well. In this virtual microscopy, you have some interactive tutorials for SEM, TEM, translational microscopy, and magnifying microscopy. So this can be run to learn to know more about these techniques. Okay, so those were virtual labs, and then I would also like to share an initiative by Government of India, and under that, let me see, where is that now? Yeah. So Government of India has also started an initiative about the virtual lab. So when you go to the starting page, vlab.co.in, and this is really important and really useful resource for those from engineering and technical background, or teaching engineering and technical education. So this virtual lab is an initiative of MOE and under the National Mission of Education through Information and Communication Technology. Okay, and the objectives are to provide remote access to simulation-based labs in various disciplines of science and engineering, to enthuse students to conduct experiments by arousing their curiosity. This would help them in learning basic and advanced concepts through remote experimentation, and to provide a complete learning management system around the virtual labs, where the student teacher can avail for various tools for learning, including additional web resources, video lectures, animated demonstrations, and self-evaluation. So almost all premier institutes are participating in this one. Okay, and then if you look at the broad areas of virtual labs, we have electronics and communication, computer science and engineering, electrical, mechanical, chemical sciences, physical sciences, civil engineering, biotechnology, and biomedical engineering. So let us go through some of them. So if you click on biotechnology and biomedical engineering, so then you have these different labs. Biotechnology related laboratories, which are developed by different institutions like IIT Roorkee, developed a course on biomedical signal and image processing lab, virtual lab. And then let us go through some of that. Maybe which one? So do you find something which is relevant to your subject which you are teaching, so that we can go through that one?
Yeah, sure, sir. The neuron related, shall we try?
You mean this neuron simulation lab?
Yeah, neuron simulation or neurophysiology lab, anything, either one. Maybe neuron simulation lab, please.
Okay, there was a neurophysiology. Neurophysiology. Yes. So let us go to neurophysiology lab. Okay. And once we go to neurophysiology lab, so then this is produced by Amrita Vish Vidyapeetham. And then you will see the introduction, that neurophysiology study of nervous system made up of many neurons, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the objectives. So in using Hodgkin-Huxley model to understand generating action potential of a neuron and to describe in detail how an action potential is initiated and propagated. And list of experiments is voltage clamp, simple neuron model, patch clamp, current clamp technique. So let us see voltage clamp technique. Okay, so the aim of experiment is this, and then the theory behind the experiment is given, explained how it is done. And then pre-test is like when you read the theory, because whenever we are doing some virtual labs, so we have to make sure that students, they focus on that actually, because sometimes they just like skip and answer the quiz and it's done. Okay, but it's not, then it will not be useful. So for example, they have to go through this, they have to understand it, and then they will give a pre-test and then submit the quiz. And then we'll see the procedure. What is the procedure to work on the simulator? Okay, and then so when we will run this, so you will see those like voltogram obtained from that voltage clamp. Okay, and then we have the simulation. So this is the simulation. So you can, for example, we have the drug. I think it is the dose. So we can let us see. Yeah. So likewise, you will you can get this voltogram actually. Okay. And then you have the simulation, and then after that you have the post test after doing it, and then you have the references, and then you have the feedback. So I think that's a really nicely developed virtual lab. And then we can see maybe one more, like computer-aided drug design. We can see, for example. Yeah, so here like drug receptor interaction or toxicity prediction of a molecule. Okay, and then you have all this, information, what is the toxicity and how it is evaluated, and then you have the procedure. Okay, so interface toxicity prediction, and then you have the self-evaluation, and then you have the simulator, and for that you need to log in for that, and then assignment, references, and feedback. So I think this is okay. I'm sorry. I think I was on the wrong tab. I shared the wrong tab actually. Yeah, so this was about toxicity prediction of a molecule, where you have the theory about toxicity, okay, and then you have the procedure, how it is done, and then you have the self-evaluation followed by a simulator, where you need to log in to utilize it, and then the assignment and references, and you can provide feedback. So likewise, you have those, you have almost every field is covered. So you can go to like chemical sciences. So you have the inorganic chemistry, molecular absorption, spectroscopy lab, and when we click on this molecular spectroscopy absorption lab, so you can see the list of experiments, familiarization with the UV visual spectroscopy, solvent effect on UV visual spectra, verification of Beer-Lambert law, simultaneous estimation method for multi-component systems. Let us see this solvent effect on UV visual absorption spectra. And then you have the theory, objectives, procedure, and simulation. So let us click here to do the simulation. So now we have reset the experiment. So now step 1 is to prepare 1 into 10⁵ molar coumarin 138 solution in cyclohexane, dioxane, acetonitrile, ethyl alcohol, and ethylene glycol. So we have all these solvents. Okay, so we take, for example, cyclohexane, and then we take the pipette. And then we fill the pipette with the, and then we take this pipette and put it in a spectrophotometer and start adjusting spectrophotometer. So we have to turn on the spectrophotometer by keeping it on, turning on the green button. Click on the lid of the sample chamber. So there is a lid. Yeah, now it is open. And then one has to, so first we have to pour the blank pure solvent, the blank. So we take so now you can see it is like taking the reading, the red light is blinking. On the wavelength scan by clicking on the computer monitor and then on the scan button and observe the wavelength scan. So we can start. So we have to add the start and end settings. So for example, we can start from 400 nanometer to 800 nanometer.
Excuse me, sir. Are you displaying it? Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what. That's just empty screen, please.
Okay, is it visible now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really sorry because every time when I click on something, it goes to another tab actually, and then I have to share that tab.
Exactly. Thus far, so many things we missed it. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So yeah. So for example, then you have to add like starting wavelength, end wavelength, and then split. So here it suggests to add like 430 as a start wavelength and then 275 as the end wavelength. Okay. Okay, and then we click on the run, and then it will, now you can see like the light is passing through that, and you can see the absorbance spectra. So this is the absorbance spectra of coumarin 138 in cyclohexane. Okay, so likewise you can do it using a dioxane. So you reset the experiment, use the dioxane, again repeat the same, click on the volumetric slices, and it is giving, so this is like really interactive. So, and so, the students, they will learn to know how to use the instrument, how to use the solutions, and this can be a pre-session before the lab actually. So if your students are using the UV visible spectrophotometer in the lab, so they can use it, they can go first through this virtual lab, and then they can use the instrument. So I think that will help them to learn better, learn more. Okay, so do you have any questions on these virtual labs? No? So then, okay, then let us do this this Kahoot quiz. So now I would like to request every one of you to let me first start it. So what you have to do is yeah. So what? Okay, let me first show you. So this is Kahoot. So you log into the Kahoot. Okay. And Kahoot is, so I created one quiz called Quiz NEP, and it contains very simple questions which you can answer in like 5 seconds. So what I will do is now when I will start the quiz, so you will see a QR code. So there is this QR code which you have to join. So if you, by using your mobile phone, if you scan this QR code and you can join this quiz, so you will be a participant in this quiz. So assuming that you are students in the class and I'm teaching, so I am conducting this quiz and you will be giving responses to the questions which I have created a quiz, and it is for you. So I request every one of you to just scan this QR code, put your name. You can use any anonymous name as well. You don't need to put your real name, just in case you don't want to use your real name. So you just put XYZ, any name, and then you join this. And once we have 20 players, we will start the quiz. So you will see the questions on this screen. Once I start the quiz, you will see the questions on this screen, and then you will be able to answer those questions using your mobile, which you have used to join this quiz. Is that clear to everyone? Is that clear to everyone that you join this quiz, for example, through using your mobile, and you will see the questions on this screen, but you will answer your question from the mobile which you used to join this quiz from. And on your mobile, you will just see 4 shapes, like a triangle, a square, a rectangle, and then maybe a diamond. And then you just have to click on those 4 options based on your choice of the answer. So please do it fast so that we can have 20 players, and then we will play this quick game. So there's only 9 people. Please do it fast so that we can start it as soon as possible. Dr. Risha, have you already joined? Do it fast, do it fast. We still have 9 spots left. Eight more to go. Dr. Amol, Dr. Anju, Dr. Dinesh, Dr. Meena, Okay, then if we are not joining, but let us start then. Okay, I can see number is reducing actually. Why it is so? It became 9 from 12 actually.
Sir, your voice is not coming, sir.
Okay, so let us start. So okay, so now I'm starting. So you will see the question here, and then you have to answer it from your mobile phone by which you have connected to the quiz. Okay, so the first question is, how many spheres do you see in this picture? And the picture is this. So based on, you count the spheres, and then you click on these shapes on your mobile phone to answer the question. Do it fast, because the one who will be answering fast will get more credits, more marks. Do it fast. We still have some responses left, and only 2 seconds left. Okay, so now you can see the answers. Like 2 people, they answered A, 5 people answered B, 2 people answered C, and 1 person answered D. Okay, let us see who is correct. So yeah, Nick is on the top, but Adi is also very close. So maybe in the next question, Adi or Sachin can beat Nick. Okay, so let us go to the second question. What do you see? And here is the picture. Fast, do it fast. Then only you will be able to beat the other person. One second to go. Okay, and then let us see. Okay, so Adi and Sachin needs to be fast actually to beat Nick, and then let us see if they can beat them in this question. Identify the picture, answer it fast. This one I think was the easiest question. Okay, let us see. Okay, yes. So we could see that Nick was beaten by Adi, and then moving to the next question, question number 4 or 5. So what do you see in this picture? Fast, we have got only 9 responses. Okay. Cool. Okay, and the last question, how many unique cubes are there in the picture? And here is the picture, so you have to count the unique cubes. This can be a little bit difficult question than previous ones. Okay, so let us see who is the winner finally. So on the third place we have Sarat, Then second, we have SKS. And on the first, we have Adi. Okay. Congratulations to every one of you who participated in it. So you know this is how it works, and then you can get the detailed report as well. So you can get the summary, who answered, how many correct questions, how many were there, and then you can get the detailed full report as well, who took how much time, and then you can see like how many correct answers were given by all the participants. Okay, and I think someone asked me about Santosh Kumar Singh ji asked me about like, is there any better quiz platform than Google Quiz? So did you find it better than Google Quiz?
Yes.
Yeah, because I believe that in this one, it's like more engaging. Like students are like, because you have to answer the question quickly, then only you can beat the others. So they will not get time to cheat. They will not get time to, So it is better if you conduct it after your class. So maybe it will take just like 10. You can take 10 minutes for class, and then you can conduct this quiz immediately after class, and then So I found it really interesting and really engaging. Okay, so then going back and wrapping it up. So in the summary, so we have the e-learning. So it introduces the abstract concepts. It provides industrial or technical inputs through videos. It helps in teaching aid resources and helping hands-on advanced technology tools, and it targets multiple intelligence. It increases teacher effectiveness. It helps in making face-to-face interaction with computer-aided learning, and helps also in the formative assessment, and improves productivity in class, and also give a chance for real-time learning, and of course the innovative teaching learning procedures. So in conclusion, what we can say is that we have explored the transformative power of ICT in education, and it offers unprecedented opportunities to revolutionize teaching and learning, making education more accessible, engaging, and inclusive. And from personalized learning experiences to digital assessments and inclusive education practices, ICT has the potential to empower educators and learners and drive positive outcome. And as we move forward, let's continue to harness the full potential of ICT to create transformative educational experiences that prepare students for success in the digital age. And together, let's embrace innovation, collaboration, and lifelong learning to build a brighter future of education powered by technology. So with those words, I would like to say thanks to every one of you who participated in this session and patiently listened to me for last almost 3 hours. And if you have any question or something to say, then I'm happy to have discussion on that. Thank you. Nothing to say? At least you could have given some feedback in the chat box actually.
The session was very good, sir. Can we have this presentation?
Yes, I can forward it actually.
Okay, sir.
I can forward this presentation. So if any, I can send you my email. So this is rajneesh.phd@iitbhu.ac.in. So if any one of you can send me your email, like if you just send me a test email on this email ID, I will revert back with the presentation, and that you can share among yours. Okay, then thank you so much, and wish
Thank you, sir.